But when I knelt down this day and asked the Lord to make a way, when I got up, no matter what my attorneys had told me, and trust me, they had sold me a pipe dream, no matter what they told me, I knew what my destiny was. I knew I was going to prison. And lo and behold, 3 long weeks of grand jury trial. At the end of that, the jurors went out and deliberated and came back and found me guilty of wanton murder and pronounced a 35-year sentence on a 29-year-old kid. And I do mean kid because my mentality was about that. The beautiful thing was I was taken right into custody. I was supposed to have been out on appeal bond, but I was taken into custody at that point, and God began to do absolute miracles. I prayed and prayed to be delivered from drugs, and let me just tell you, there's drugs in prison, and I thought that once I arrived there, this is going to be it, I'm done. And there was lots of drugs there. But God gave me the ability at that crossroads in my life to say no. And he gave me the sovereign ability to continue to walk without drugs in my life and to live a life of sobriety. Not only sobriety away from drugs, but sexual sobriety as well. And so all of us left with now is fantasies and sexual brokenness. And so I began to study the Word, and for the next 12 years, God would just pour into my life. I got a job as a chapel clerk there at Kentucky State Reformatory under a great chaplain who discipled me. He taught me how to use interlinears, lexicons, Vines, Strongs, how to use transliterated tools and parse Greek. And I began teaching classes and discipling men for some years. And some of the men that I poured into were men who had sex crimes, highly publicized sex crimes. And so as I walked alongside of those guys and poured into them and helped them through what's called Sex Offender Treatment Program, 18-month modules, God was using some of the very things that I was using them to help them with to pour into me and help me. The first time I saw the pro board, they gave me a six-year deferment. And by that time, I had done a GED, associate's degree. I had been supported and sponsored by outside people and was able to get a bachelor's in theology through Boyce. And I had done 4 vocations at that time, 2-year vocations: carpentry, masonry, fiber optics, OSHA. And then later on, I would do ServSafe. So I would spend 10 years in vocations. So God absolutely poured into my life and gave me opportunity to learn to play bass and worship teams, to disciple men, to teach and preach and minister all through the prisons I was in. I was served out of my sentence the second time I saw the pro board, and so I would walk out free March 1st, 2012.